4.5%. That is Japan's obesity rate in a nation of around 125 million people. This is not a small, isolated community or a society of monks living simple lives. Japan is one of the most urbanized, hardworking, and high-stress countries in the world. Yet, while obesity affects more than 40% of adults in the United States and over 30% in much of Western Europe, Japan has remained close to 4.5% for decades. Even more remarkable, the average life expectancy there is about 84 years, making it one of the longest living populations on Earth. Now, here is the part that surprises most people. Rice is a staple of the Japanese diet, often eaten 3 times a day. Most people are not spending hours in the gym, and they are certainly not obsessively counting calories. Clearly, something different is happening, and it is a topic that rarely gets the attention it deserves in mainstream nutrition. Today, Wellness Science Hub is going to explore exactly why. I have spent 15 years practicing medicine, and I can tell you that many patients struggling with extra weight, slow metabolism, low energy, and constant cravings have already tried nearly every popular diet. They have cut calories, eliminated carbs, avoided fats, and followed strict meal plans. At first, the weight comes off. A few months later, it slowly returns, often bringing back even more than they lost. This is not because they lack discipline. It is because the human body is designed to protect itself. Your biology is far more sophisticated than any diet trend. That realization pushed me to look beyond traditional Western nutrition advice. As I reviewed the research surrounding Japan's traditional eating habits, I found evidence that completely changed the way I think about metabolism, the system your body uses to either produce energy from food or store that energy as fat. People in Japan generally do not fear rice. They are not replacing meals with protein shakes or obsessing over calorie totals. Instead, they regularly eat foods that appear to influence how the body manages fat storage and energy use at the cellular level. The encouraging news is that these foods are not exotic or impossible to find. Many are available almost anywhere. Before looking at those foods individually, we need to understand one concept that is often overlooked. Most people believe body weight is simply a matter of arithmetic. Eat more calories than you burn, and you gain weight. Eat fewer calories than you use, and you lose it. It sounds logical, but real life is much more complex because this equation ignores one of the most influential factors in metabolism, your gut microbiome. Inside your digestive tract lives an enormous community of microorganisms known as the gut microbiome. There are trillions of them, actually more microbial cells than human cells in your body. These organisms do much more than help digest food. They influence hormones that control appetite, regulate inflammation, affect how efficiently your body burns calories, and even communicate directly with your brain to influence feelings of hunger and fullness. Imagine your digestive system as a busy factory. When the factory is operating properly, everything runs smoothly. Helpful bacteria process nutrients, create beneficial compounds, and send accurate signals telling your brain that you have eaten enough. But years of eating heavily processed foods, excessive sugar, low-fiber meals, and repeated antibiotic use can disrupt that balance. Many of the beneficial bacteria decline, while less helpful species begin to dominate. These changes encourage stronger hunger signals, increase chronic inflammation, and push the body towards storing more fat, especially the dangerous kind known as visceral fat. Unlike the fat you can pinch beneath your skin, visceral fat is hidden deep inside the abdomen. It surrounds vital organs such as the liver, pancreas, and intestines. More importantly, it is not simply an inactive energy reserve. It behaves like an endocrine organ, constantly releasing inflammatory chemicals called cytokines. These inflammatory compounds contribute to insulin resistance, a condition in which cells no longer respond effectively to insulin, making blood sugar harder to control. They also promote the development of plaque inside blood vessels, increasing the risk of heart disease, and have been associated with a higher likelihood of several cancers. Visceral fat often accumulates quietly without obvious warning signs, especially when the gut microbiome is out of balance. So, why does Japan experience much lower rates of obesity and related disease? A large international study published in Nutrition Journal in 2018 compared dietary habits across 132 countries. Researchers examined how closely each country's eating patterns resembled the traditional Japanese diet. They looked at factors such as higher intake of fish, soy products, seaweed, and vegetables, along with lower consumption of red meat, dairy products, and highly processed foods. The findings were striking. Countries whose diets more closely resembled the traditional Japanese pattern consistently showed lower obesity rates. This relationship remains significant even after accounting for differences in income, education, healthcare systems, and smoking habits. Statistically, the results were exceptionally strong, making it very unlikely that they occurred by chance. Another observation challenges the idea that genetics alone explains Japan's health advantage. When Japanese families move to Western countries and gradually adopt Western eating habits, obesity rates often rise dramatically within just one generation. Their genes remain the same, but their food environment changes, and so do their health outcomes. This strongly suggests that dietary habits play a far greater role than inherited metabolism. Now let us examine one of the most important features of the Japanese diet: fermented foods and their effect on the gut microbiome. Among these foods, natto stands out. For many people trying it for the first time, natto can be intimidating. It has a sticky texture, long strings, a powerful aroma, and an appearance that many Western eaters find unusual. Some people open the container once, wrinkle their nose, and immediately close it again. That reaction is understandable, but nutritionally, natto may be one of the most valuable fermented foods available. Natto is produced by fermenting soybeans with a beneficial bacterium called Bacillus subtilis. During fermentation, the food undergoes remarkable changes that greatly enhance its nutritional value and its potential influence on the gut microbiome. Scientists often discuss two major groups of gut bacteria: Bacteroidetes and Firmicutes. The names themselves are not important, but their balance is. Numerous studies have found that individuals with obesity often have a higher proportion of Firmicutes and a lower proportion of Bacteroidetes. Regular consumption of natto appears to help shift this balance toward the pattern more commonly seen in lean individuals. In other words, this fermented food may actually help reshape the microbial community inside your digestive system. Research published in Molecular Nutrition and Food Research also found a dose-dependent relationship. Participants who consumed greater amounts of natto experienced larger reductions in visceral fat. The study suggested that natto helped reduce the liver's production of new fatty acids while also encouraging the breakdown of stored fat. Perhaps even more interesting, fermented soy produced significantly greater metabolic benefits than ordinary soybeans. Why does fermentation make such a difference? Raw soybeans naturally contain compounds called trypsin inhibitors. These substances interfere with the body's ability to fully absorb certain nutrients. During fermentation, these inhibitors are largely broken down. As a result, beneficial compounds known as isoflavones become much more available for absorption. Fermentation also creates nattokinase, a unique enzyme associated with several health benefits, while introducing live probiotic bacteria that support a healthier gut ecosystem. You can think of ordinary soybeans as a locked treasure chest filled with valuable nutrients. Fermentation acts as the key, unlocking those nutrients and making them far easier for your body to use effectively. A quick but important point about nattokinase. This remarkable enzyme is naturally produced only during the fermentation process that creates natto. You won't find it in other foods. Research has shown that nattokinase can help improve blood flow by reducing blood viscosity, lowering the likelihood of clot formation, and supporting healthy circulation. That is one reason natto has traditionally been eaten at breakfast in Japan, when the body's cardiovascular risk tends to be highest. This practice is supported by modern biochemistry, not just cultural tradition. In one study carried out by researchers at the Jilin Academy of Agricultural Sciences, obese laboratory rats received natto powder for 8 weeks. The improvements were clear. Their body weight declined, cholesterol metabolism became healthier, fat production in the liver was reduced through suppression of LXR receptors, and detailed genetic analysis confirmed significant improvements in the gut microbiome. Beneficial Bacteroidetes increased while Firmicutes declined. These were measurable biological changes, not personal opinions or isolated observations. Another experiment examined obese mice fed natto-derived bacteria over the same 8-week period. The animals experienced reductions in body weight, along with decreases in internal fats surrounding the kidneys and reproductive organs. Their liver weight dropped, blood triglycerides and cholesterol improved, and the bacteria slowed the creation of new fatty acids while accelerating the breakdown of existing fat stores. For everyday use, about 50 grams of natto per day, the amount found in a standard Japanese serving, is enough. Traditionally, it is eaten at breakfast with a little soy sauce and mustard. One important detail: avoid heating it. High temperatures destroy the living bacteria responsible for many of its benefits. Fortunately, Bacillus subtilis survives stomach acid remarkably well, allowing it to reach the intestines alive. Because these bacteria are delivered within a natural food rather than an isolated supplement, they often survive digestion better than many probiotic capsules. If fresh natto is unavailable, frozen natto from an Asian grocery store is an excellent alternative. Once thawed, the beneficial bacteria become active again. The next mechanism involves activating brown fat with compounds found in green tea, particularly matcha. Many people believe drinking an occasional cup of green tea provides all the benefits they need. Unfortunately, that assumption is misleading. Traditional green tea bags and authentic Japanese matcha are very different products. The concentration of beneficial compounds is dramatically higher in matcha. EGCG, short for epigallocatechin gallate, is one of the most powerful antioxidants found in plants. More importantly, it has the unique ability to stimulate brown fat. Brown fat is activated by a protein called UCP1, or uncoupling protein 1. A systematic review published in the journal Nutrients, which analyzed 10 experimental studies, found that green tea catechins significantly increase UCP1 activity. Once this pathway is activated, brown fat begins using white fat as its fuel source, allowing stored fat to be burned more efficiently. Although a 4% increase may sound small, over an entire year it can translate into hundreds of additional grams of fat burned without changing diet or adding exercise. One fascinating detail emerged from the research. Giving participants caffeine alone produced virtually no metabolic improvement. The effect depended on the combination of catechins and caffeine working together. Together, they amplify norepinephrine, the hormone that signals the body to begin breaking down stored fat. Individually, each ingredient has a relatively modest effect. Combined, they become much more powerful. This also explains why many matcha extract supplements fail to match the benefits of drinking real matcha. The natural structure of the tea contains interacting compounds that work together, and separating them reduces that synergy. The third mechanism is less exciting from a marketing perspective, but may be the most important for lasting weight management. It involves dietary fiber, butyrate production, and natural appetite regulation. Fiber works because it changes what happens after food enters your digestive system. Beneficial gut bacteria feed on fiber and convert it into short chain fatty acids. One of the most important is butyrate. Butyrate performs two critical functions.